Welcome. This video is on the field reassembly of the Smith Wesson Model 952. You may have heard that this is difficult to do. The most difficult part of reassembly is reinserting the barrel into the slide. But I'm going to show you a technique that will actually make that one of the easier parts of reassembly. So why is inserting the barrel into the slide so difficult? On side the slide is a brass ring known as the barrel bushing. When the barrel is in the slide, that bushing is perpendicular to the slide in all directions. But as you remove the barrel, the bushing naturally moves, so the barrel can be removed. But as you clean and maintain your gun, you might actually knock that bushing out of alignment. So when you reinsert the barrel and the bushing are no longer going to line up, and it'll be very difficult to reinsert the barrel into the bushing. Let's talk about safety next. When cleaning and maintaining your gun, make sure all ammunition is locked away. And also, be sure to wear your safety glasses. Let's discuss some nomenclature. We're not going to go over everything, just the parts that are relevant to reassembly. This, of course, is the barrel, but this end of the barrel is known as the muzzle. This end of the barrel is known as the barrel lug. And in the owner's manual, they will refer to the radial cut. That is the cut right there. It's not up here, it's not this, it's not here, it's right there. And on the recoil rod, this part is known as the bushing. When we reassemble the gun, this bushing needs to fit into the radial cut. And I will show you how to do that. Okay, we've already talked about the barrel bushing. This is the slide stop. This part is the slide stop pin. And if you look closely at this end, there is a spring-loaded pin. On the frame, this plastic piece is known as the grip safety. As we reassemble our gun, we do not want to be pushing on this, because that forces these levers up and we need them to be down during reassembly. Let's begin the reassembly. First, we're going to oil the frame rails in 4 places. We're going to put a drop of oil in this area, and in this area, and in this area. Next, we're going to line the barrel bushing using a 2-step technique that I developed. In step 1, we're going to use our fingers only and get the barrel bushing close to horizontal. Doesn't have to be exact, but it does need to be close. Then, as we insert the barrel, when the muzzle goes into the bushing, we're going to manually adjust the bushing so the two are in alignment. So let's go ahead and do that. First, we're going to get the bushing in approximate horizontal position, and we're going to just use finger pressure. And the way we tell is just look at the distance between the top of the bushing and the edge of the slide and make sure it's close to level all the way around. Okay? The next step is to insert the barrel. As we do this, we do not want the muzzle hitting the back edge of the bushing because that can knock it out of alignment. Now, as soon as the muzzle enters in the bushing, on the front sight end of the slide, you're going to use finger pressure only and push down on the bushing and then complete the insertion of the barrel. Now let's repeat that because it is the more difficult part of reassembly, and I'm going to knock the bushing out of alignment so we can practice. Okay, first, horizontally align the bushing. Just look at the distance Insert the barrel. As soon as the muzzle enters the bushing, front side in, push down on the bushing, and complete the insertion. The next step is to oil the slide rails. We'll put a drop of oil in this area, one here, and one here. Now we want to join the recoil rod and the recoil spring, and then insert them into the slide. And when I pull back on the assembly, I don't pull back just on the spring because that could cause the rod to separate from the spring. I actually pull back on the recoil rod bushing till it's past the radial cut, and then I'll let it slowly move forward until the bushing is in the radial cut. Still holding on to the recoil assembly, I am going to mount the slide onto the frame, and once the frame begins to cover up the recoil assembly, I can stop holding the spring. I push down the levers. Now we want to insert the slide stop. We're going to use our 2x4s again. This time using my left hand, I'm going to align the opening with the notch, and then I'm going to insert the slide stop, push it in. If the little spring-loaded pin comes up against that metal piece, just push down on that spring-loaded pin and finish pushing in the slide stop with your thumb. Then release. Now let's check reassembly. Slide stop up against frame, no gap in that area. Slide goes back, it's cleanly held open, cleanly closes. Okay, that completes the reassembly of the Model 952. For this part of the video, I would like to do a quick disassembly and reassembly. During the reassembly, I will not go over the oiling steps because that was covered previously. First, the quick disassembly. Remove slide stop. Separate frame from slide. Remove recoil assembly. Separate recoil rod from recoil spring. Remove barrel. That completes the quick disassembly. Now for the quick reassembly. First, align barrel bushing. Insert barrel. Recoil rod and a recoil spring. Slide on frame. Levers down. Insert slide stop. Check assembly. Slide stop flush against frame. Slide securely held open. Slide cleanly closes. That completes the quick reassembly. In addition to the two-step technique that I devised for inserting the barrel into the slide, I also developed an alternate technique. Let's see the difference. In the two-step technique, step one is to line the bushing horizontally. It does not have to be precise, but it does need to be close. In step two, as you insert the barrel into the slide, when the muzzle goes into the bushing, we manually adjust the bushing so they line up. In the alternate technique, we pre-angle the bushing before inserting the barrel. First, we need to make sure that the distance between the top of the bushing and the end of the slide are the same on both these sides. This is important for the alternate technique, just like it is on the two-step technique. Then, using finger pressure only in the front side end of the slide, go ahead and push the bushing down. Now, it is important that the bushing is angled like this, not like this, not like this. If the angle's too much this way or this way, the barrel's not going to be inserted. So let's check the distance again, a little bit more. All right, let's go ahead and insert the barrel. Again, we want to make sure that the muzzle does not hit the inside edge of the bushing. Insert, go slow, muzzle in, push through, and it's inserted. Now, the two-step process I showed in the main video. Step one is to horizontally align the bushing so the distance between the top of the bushing and the slide is about even all the way around. It has to be close, but not exact. And as we insert the barrel, when the muzzle first goes into the bushing, go ahead and push down the bushing for insertion. Both techniques work, but if you're having problems using the alternate technique, I suggest you use my two-step process because I get more consistent results with it. While not the easiest handgun to disassemble and reassemble, I hope this video demonstrates that the Smith & Wesson Model 952 is not as difficult to assemble and reassemble as you may have heard. Now please stay tuned for important safety information. Thank you.